You know, sometimes I look at the scammers these days and I wonder, could we do better than this? I mean, is this the best the scammers have to offer? Right here. 6KK Andrew on TikTok, you know, waving 30K around as if anyone's going to believe that he actually makes that. Is this really what we have? Is this the best 2020 can muster? 1 year ago, I dropped out of high school to pursue, he's misspelled it, e-commerce. And I think he needs to go back to high school. Oh, people said it was a bad decision, but I ended up making 100K in my first year. Okay, well, you think 100 profit? No, 100K in sales, which means probably like 15K in profit. So he's like, you guys think I'm an idiot for dropping out of high school, but I made 15K last year. Yeah, we think you're dumb. But my point is, this is the kind of stuff that gets sent all the time. And I want to tell you, there was an age of scammer where people had class. I feel like it's like when the Joker says, you know, we need a better class of criminal.
This town deserves a better class of criminal.
Hey, you guys aren't doing enough. It's hard to even want to respond to this stuff. Honestly, I don't even know how to get out of bed in the morning when I look at this stuff. But let me tell you, in the 90s, things were done very differently. Just compare and contrast this with this, ladies and gentlemen. How to get a second paycheck Hawaiian style. This is from the 90s, but it hits different. Trust me. Watch and learn, boys.
Hawaii, one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Wow, the production value. The hired actresses in the back walking conveniently right next to this guy.
My name is Michael Flynn, and I'm here on the beautiful island of Maui. I've got a question for you. Right now, how would you like to be in Hawaii?
I would, Michael. I would like that very much.
Enjoying the good life and earning even more money than you do right now at home when you're slaving away at your regular job.
Michael, you've got my interest, okay? Because I am slaving away here making YouTube videos. The people at home don't know this is the hardest job in the world. Very tough. So I'm ready, Michael. My body's ready for whatever you have for me. You've went to Hawaii for me, so I owe it to you to watch this.
In effect, how would you like to get a second paycheck, Hawaiian style?
Doesn't sound too bad. Ooh, already B-roll on point. Look, guys, remember what you could be having. You could be having this guy, or you have this. I think the answer's clear.
Just imagine Hawaii, the land of enchantment and magic.
The waterfalls.
The land of volcanoes.
The volcanoes.
Luau's and hula dancers. Tropical rainforests. And the most beautiful beaches in the world.
This is another reason the 90s infomercials just hit different. You had Tom Vu with his babes back in the day, calling them waterfalls.
Watching the waterfall in the front, the waterfall in the back, the pool look like the lake, waterfall inside the house.
Now we got the beaches.
And the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Guys, the 90s infomercials, next level. Okay, they knew how to play you subtly, your psychology, right?
Hawaii, where you can be skin diving in the morning, parasailing after lunch, shopping in mid-afternoon, sipping a Mai Tai at sunset, and yet all the while, you're making more money than you ever dreamed of.
See, look, we already know it's a scam, right? But I'm there mentally. I'm in Hawaii. I've got the beaches. I've got the tropical rainforests. I've got it all, even though I know it's a scam. That's what made the 90s different.
If you think that's impossible, you're in for a surprise. Because in the next 30 minutes, you're going to meet a man who does all of that.
Okay, let's skip forward and meet the man, all right? This is the real man of the hour. That's right, he has an intro, man. The Michael, he doesn't really matter. This is the guy that matters. This is Gary Cochran.
Than you ever dreamed possible, and you can do it with a very simple business called direct marketing. $200 billion a year industry. That's a figure most of us can't comprehend. Can you even imagine what $200 billion looks like? George, go ahead and bring him in.
Are they bringing in $200 billion? What's the wheelbarrow about? What are these men doing?
Stay seated in your seats. These guys do not have a great sense of humor. Now, last year...
Hey, Mr. Beast, calm down. This is what I'm talking about. Listen, you can either have Tiny Tim over here, or you can have the Cochran, okay? Look at this guy. Woo! That's a wheelbarrow full of cash. Actually, it's not one. It's not two. It's three.
Here, over 92 million of us
4
ordered by either mail or phone.
6 wheelbarrows of cash.
That's how much I have right here on the stage. $380,000. That's what's earned in direct marketing every minute. Now, who would like some of this cash? If I gave you some, what would you do with it? What would you do with it?
He's doing a genius move right now. I'm going to tell you what it is in a second, but watch what he does. So first, he primes people with the $20. I'll give you $20. What would you do with it?
You'd go out to dinner, here's $20, enjoy yourself, but there's not enough to take two. What would you do with it? Medical bill. You have a need for a medical bill.
So he's pulling the Ellen before it was cool. He gives it out to a bunch of people, and then he takes it up a notch.
Right, yes, right there. I'd go surfing. You'd go surfing, $20. We'll rent you something, all right? Now, I'm not done. I still have, right here, I have some $100 bills. Who? No.
This is where the great pitch starts, guys. He ups it, $100. Now you're primed to think he's going to give you $100. Watch this.
Wait just a second. I've got 100, 200, 18, 19, 24, 25 $100 bills. Who wants one of these? Guess what? Before I'm done today, I'm going to give 25 of you one of these $100 bills.
Watch this, guys. This is genius. This is innovation, okay? Watch.
And if you're watching at home, I'm going to give you exactly the same opportunity.
Sleazebag scammer, 100%. Kind of brilliant what he's about to do.
When you get that payment, you are going to keep your portion of the payment, and you will keep it. You will send the balance of the payment onto the producer of the product, who will ship that product directly to the consumer. Do you understand what drop shipping is?
This is drop shipping. Oh, I finally understand. This guy's doing drop shipping scamming before it was cool, right? Now everybody has a drop shipping course. This guy, hey, back in the 90s, the innovation. Now you're asking yourself, what about the $100, Stephen? What happened? What happened to the $2,500 he was going to give away? Well, let's find out, because this is next level, okay?
I still have right here 25 $100 bills. Who wants one of these? But let me ask you, if I
People literally sat through this whole presentation to get this money.
gave you one, who would use it to invest in themselves and get this course of materials and get started today? Could I see your hands? That's exactly what I'm going to do. You come with me, and I will pay the first $100 of the cost of your program.
Wait a minute. You're not giving them money. You said you're giving people money, but only if they pay you for your course, which is $250. So you're just doing a sale. But think about that. He had them wait the entire time. Everyone's paying attention. They think there's going to be a quiz at the end. They think they're going to get 100 free bucks. No, you have to pay $250 to get 100 bucks.
So that your entire cost is only $149. Brian, that's for this one right here. That's for this one right here. And for those of you at home, you do not have an opportunity to be at this seminar, but I will do exactly the same thing for you. I will pay the first $100 of the cost of this program.
You know, guys, I literally never fall for this stuff, but $100?
Please stay on the line to continue.
I honestly thought that this number would be disconnected for sure. Are you serious?
Your call is important to us. Please hold for the next available specialist.
By the way, while we're waiting, this is one of the things I saw in the comment section of this video. Hilariously, 4 months ago, in a video with 1,900 people. I'm one of the 1,900 people, guys.
Due to overwhelming response, all of our representatives are assisting other callers. Please continue to hold for the next available representative.
The overwhelming response of people who are still watching Gary Cochran. Oh yeah, it's a big slam-a-jam-a hit, boys. You know the 90s infomercials, they're still crushing sales calls. Okay. I'm pissed, Gary. Now I'm pissed.
Due to overwhelming response, all of our representatives are assisting other callers. Please continue to hold for the next available representative.
I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry, Gary, I tried. But interesting enough, this seminar, which is still apparently selling tons of copies, didn't last very long. In 1991, they got accused of operating a scam for selling their instructive videotapes because they didn't actually ship out the products. See, Gary Cochran owned this company called American Business Seminars, and they raised $400,000 by accepting money for these tapes. But they failed to deliver the tapes, and they didn't provide refunds. So then what does Gary do? Gary's in a pinch. Well, he decides to file for bankruptcy. Now, the funny thing is, I tried to look up more about Gary Cochran. There isn't much available, but I did find you guys because I want to close the story up. I wanted to find you the truth about this 90s infomercial pioneer. I wanted to know what happened to him, right? So I found an old newspaper clipping. This is literally from 1991. And basically, they repeat the fact that he's filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, so he looks like his company was failing. At the same time, in an affidavit filed October 25th, and this paper came out on November 2nd, it says that Cochran was receiving a salary of $700,000 per month, while his wife made $100,000 a month. Classic pay gap, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks like the end of Gary Cochran wasn't pretty. I don't know. Honestly, you can't find much online about him. But I thought this is an interesting look at the scammers of old. We think of this as a new thing on the internet, but the truth is scams like this are as old as time, right? They were done in the 90s. They were done even before that with chain letters. Guys, this is nothing new, but you got to educate yourself. You got to see through this stuff. But frankly, I really do think it's easier than ever because people like this, it's disappointing. They don't have the class. They don't have the production value of the stuff back in the day. And honestly, I think it's an opportunity for people now because I think it's easier than ever to see through these guys because they don't have the showmanship, the presentation skills back in the day. Because, like, look, dude, you look at the stuff back in the day, you almost want to buy it. You almost want to go get a wheelbarrow of cash yourself. But nowadays, you have people like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm retiring from YouTube. That's right. I'm done. Susan's taken advantage of me for far too long, been paying her way too much money, and I'm sick of it, quite frankly. And I need to make this financial decision for me, for my family. Look, this $10 million studio, it's expensive. The first mortgage payment came in, and quite frankly, I am drowning in debt. And enough is enough, guys. A man can only take so much before he has to finally throw in the towel. But before I do it, I need to expose the biggest con artists in the entire fake guru industry. I've never talked about them because, I didn't want to burn any bridges. I knew that I wanted to be nice to these guys. I mean, it's not even just one. It's actually a group of three, okay? 3 people that I've never called out because I'm afraid they have big shot lawyers. But it's finally time I called them out. And those 3 people are Tom Nash, Spencer Cornelia, and Mike Winnett. I know you guys thought we were all friendly and stuff like that. But I was really like a little mole inside their operation. I was only pretending so that I could later expose them for who they really are. That's right. Bring the screen down, boys. Spencer Cornelia to start. Now, many of you may know Spencer as a real estate investor, someone who's passionate about finance, but I see a Photoshop artist. See, he claims in his banner that he was on Wheel of Fortune, his name. But I've looked through literally thousands of hours of footage and literally found no mentions of the name Spencer Cornelia. Additionally, when you look at below this, I know a lot of people would miss this little detail, but it says Guru Killa, which rhymes, I don't know if you guys know this, with Coffeezilla, which can only mean one thing. Spencer Cornelia may have blood on his hands. Guys, when Caleb Maddox went missing, I always wondered, after my live stream, he said he was going to make daily videos. He never did. And I think at this point, even the police are asking, where is Caleb Maddox? And does the Guru Killa have anything to do with it? I don't know if Spencer did it, but let's just look in those eyes real quick, and I think we can make a pretty reasonable assumption. Next bridge I'm burning, Tom Nash. This man is a thumbnail plagiarist. He has one good thumbnail idea and proceeds to plagiarize it off himself for months with no attribution. Disgusting. And I get it, to the common man, you see 6 distinct thumbnails. I see 6 copies. Next, and this one actually hurts. Mike Winnett, right? Many of you, including myself, were fooled by this guy for a very long time. Mike has a successful show called Entrepreneur Bingo. I myself and many others were a fan of this, where he's hanging out in this gigantic office space. You see him as successful and, popular, but the truth is far more sinister. See, I was leaked by one of Mike's interns this shocking photo. This is the real state of Entrepreneur Bingo. It's all been a green screen. We caught him, boys. We caught him. Who would lie to their audience with something like this? Let me just ask you this. What kind of psycho would tell their audience months and months, for weeks and weeks, that they're somewhere they're not? Not me. I've never lied to you guys in my life. I've never been wrong about anything, and literally never known it was green screen until this shocking footage came out. Mike, exposed. Now, guys, now that I've burned those bridges, there's no going back on this retirement. There's no way I could show my face in this circle again. So let's just go all the way through. Why am I retiring? Because it's not just randomly. I'm not doing this for no reason. It's because I recently learned the truth about retirement that people aren't going to tell you. See, I watched Joshua Fluke's video on retirement. You may know him. He's been on the podcast before. Josh has a very mainstream view of retirement. Let's hear what it is.
This is what retirement actually looks like. This is what retirement looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I used to believe about retirement. That retirement means you're old. But that was back when I was a big dum-dum like Josh Fluke. And I didn't mean to expose him there, but Josh, sorry, you're in the crosshairs right now. Everybody's getting it on retirement day. See, Joshua Fluke is totally wrong about retirement, as are most people. Most people think of retirement as you save up money so that you can retire. I learned recently that you have to retire to make enough money to retire, which is why I'm retiring. Guys, welcome to my retirement video and why you should retire. And yes, we're 4 minutes and 30 seconds in and I'm just getting to the point of this video, but hold on, guys. It's my retirement video. I can do it how I want. So this may be the most important little slide deck you've ever seen. It's Retirement 101 by Coffeezilla, because if you're in the old model, you probably think that retirement is for old people, and that's the mistake. This lie, this false narrative is being mostly propagated by one man, Joshua Fluke, the YouTuber. The truth is retirement's made to make you more money, and I know that's confusing to a lot of you, so let me explain. See, the truth is I used to be negative towards retirement too. I mean, like back in the day, a long time ago, I was downing people who did this. I was hating on them. I was making fun of them and their taglines. But that's before I knew the truth, guys. That's before I got enlightened. I used to propagate this poor mindset, this poor mentality, you know, and that's how you stay poor, is by not retiring early. But luckily, guys, I'm a nonstop learner, so eventually I figured it out. And it's also a great way to get job security, guys, because as the old saying goes, once you retire, you can never be fired. Now, I want you guys to know also, arm yourself with evidence, as they say, because all the greats have done it. Listen, Conor McGregor, sure you know who he is. He retired. He said, I have decided to retire young. Thanks for the cheese. Catch you later. Now, what happened years after he retired? After retiring from fighting, he made the most money he had ever made in his career fighting. Look, this is the face of a man making a lot of money. I know it may not look like it, but wow, this is the face of a winner. Now, I know you're savvy and you want more evidence. Fine. Evidence number 2. We have Linus Tech Tips. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a small little YouTuber who thought of retiring 10 months ago. He announced it. He got millions of views. The video went viral because all of a sudden everyone freaked out. Oh, he's retiring. He's retiring. Now look at him. He's the #1 tech YouTuber. But maybe you're not into these YouTubers, right? You want to know about traditional media. Maybe you don't trust this new showbiz, right? Take a look at old showbiz. Jay Leno was about to be fired, so he retired. He said he was handing over the show to Conan O'Brien.
Good luck next week, my friend. Jay, thank you for everything. All the best.
And then he took it back.
Yeah, I'll take the show back.
Once you retire, you can never be fired. Guys, there are even people you may not have even known are retired and are successful because of it. This is PewDiePie. I've already retired, he said. Don't believe me? Roll the clip.
I've already retired.
Now look at him. Look, he's one of the biggest YouTubers now. This is how you get successful, guys. Other big YouTubers you may know. Morgs, obviously one of the greats on YouTube. He retired.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Team Morgs. I can't do this. I'm quitting YouTube.
Now look at him. Guys, this is just a pattern of behavior. I mean, I don't mean to shake you guys up with these things.
Hey, this is Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader. I am here with my brand new Ferrari. There's something wrong with my Ferrari. Do Ferraris suck? No. Do they have problems? Yes. But that I'd much rather have Ferrari problems than to have the problem of working every single day, 9 to 5, with a Ferrari that I hate, trying to pay down Ferrari loans, trying to pay down a Ferrari. And sadly, that is the reality for most people.
Market's about to open. Market's about to open.
What's poppin', Snake Gang?
What's going on, Snake Gang?
What is poppin', Snake Gang?
I struggled with life. I struggled with Forex. I struggled so hard for, years. And, I'm only 19, so, I was struggling before I was even legally allowed to struggle.
Literally 2:15 in the afternoon right now. Haven't even eaten nothing all day, man. Trader lifestyle is really difficult.
Well, you turned 2,000 into a million. How's it going?
I turned 20,000 into a little over 3 million now.
turned 12,000 now into $5 million.
Well, stop. You already sound like all.
No.
1.8 million, guys. It was just last week.
How did you do that?
Well, throughout middle school, I've been learning about stocks, so I started at a very low age.
I always wanted to live in a huge ass mansion. Being broke and seeing my parents really pissed me off, so I said I'm gonna go out there and really make a lot of money. Millions of dollars was the goal. And 3 years later, look at me now. This could be you if you work hard.
Yeah, I ain't trying to catch no fucking coronavirus in an elevator, bitch. I'm about to be successful as fuck.
I don't know.
Sounds sketchy.
I want your opinion.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about courses?
Common sense would say, like, if you're a millionaire and you're doing great, then why bother selling a course?
Exactly.
Okay. What's your response to that?
Okay. What trumps all those critics?
Well, hold on though.
Yeah.
So again, why sell a course?
I'm a 26-year-old Forex trader, and I've helped thousands of people become successful in Forex trading.
Besides just making money for myself, I love helping others make money. So I have thousands of students now in over 60 countries.
While helping thousands of my students do the exact same thing.
What else do I need? Do I need 2 screens? I don't. I don't need to look like a professional because I don't. I'm not a professional. I'm a day trader.
What is poppin', Snake Gang?
Boys, some of y'all are out here looking straight goofy when y'all submit these fraudulent PPP loans and you're not sophisticated, you're total amateurs, you're gonna go to jail for being such an idiot. So today we're gonna look at some of the dumbest things I've seen. Welcome to the PPP Chronicles.
Something like to lie about the size of the PPPs and they will be caught. Oh, they will be caught. And if you have a small PPP, that is okay. But you must not lie to the government, not the government. Maybe a new girlfriend. Welcome to the PPP Chronicle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FBI building, where I'm going to just recount to you the fact that the FBI has now gotten involved with some of these PPP fraud cases. They have something called the Complex Financial Crimes Squad or something like that. It sounds much cooler than it probably is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my presentation screen. We here at the FBI, $10 million studio. Now, today we're looking at Joshua Bellamy's criminal complaint. Joshua Bellamy is the former NFL player. He was a wide receiver for the Jets. So, brilliant man in the art of complex financial crimes. And how he got caught, he had something called Drip Entertainment LLC. And he was one of many people, 9 people were charged, submitting false documents and trying to get money for it from the COVID relief fund. And this guy got $1,200,000. Now, he got this at a time when he was broke. Apparently, when he got it, the $1.2 million, at the time in his personal account, he had a personal balance of $2.51. Now, I know what you're thinking. Poor guy. Maybe he needed the money. Well, he spent that $1.2 million in 2 months. Yeah, that's who we're dealing with. And was it on food? Was it on shelter? No. He spent it on custom jewelry, $57,000 on custom jewelry, $38,000 on another jewelry store, $5,000 at Gucci, $1,000. You guys get the point. He's trying to get the drip, and he got caught, and I don't feel bad for him about it. I mean, the level of this scam was so low. There's such amateurs at this little organization. Look at this. The purported company bank statement, which was submitted in electronic format, is a clear forgery. First, according to the document's file properties, the statement was created using PDF Filler, a program used to edit electronic PDF files. I bet the FBI people and all the people who investigated this were like, are you joking? You're trying to get one by us with PDF Filler? It was probably like the free version or something like that, and was modified using iText. Second, the statement is a recycled version of the same falsified Bank 7 statement used in other fraudulent applications submitted as part of the scheme. Oh my gosh. They're not even bothering to redo documents. They're just submitting the same stuff. But as if that's not enough, they then went and entrapped this guy. Dude, the FBI's crushing it. I'll tell them. This criminal complaint is just scathing. Apparently, an undercover agent posed as an associate and spoke with the guy, basically saying, hey, I can get you a second PPP loan. And you'd think This guy, this Jets wide receiver who just got $1.2 million from the government, fraudulently would say, hey, man, no way, dude. I can't do that. I'm not going to lie to the government in order to get more money. I've already stolen money from the government. But instead he goes, yeah, of course. Let's do it, right? How stupid can you be? Let me answer that question with his co-conspirator. His co-conspirator is a little smarter. It's a guy named Philip Augustine, who was investigated by the FBI. Now, this Augustine guy tried to claim, since he was just the hype man for this business, he tried to claim that, look, it wasn't his doing. He was a victim. It says that it was CHS2, who's just this other guy who's unnamed, who submitted the application from Augustine's house using Augustine's computer. Your Honor, it may have come from my computer. The fraud may have been found on my computer, but I did not touch my computer. In fact, he later told prosecutors that he was only providing documents while he was playing 2 games of pool and didn't know that any fraud was happening. Now, the problem with that was that they went and they checked his phone records. Like, these people think that the government's incompetent, which in a lot of ways it is, but they think that there's no such thing as telephone records. And basically the telephone records paint a different picture, because this alleged victim and the guy preparing the documents were texting back and forth the whole time. And why would you text back and forth from the same room if one of you guys are playing pool? So it doesn't make sense. Not only that, his signatures match the same signatures from his bank records, from all his private records. And so they're like, yeah, you definitely did this crime. But now, because this guy lied to prosecutors, because he tried to cover up his crime and try to say, no, I was the victim. Look at this. In that interview, he falsely portrayed himself to be the victim. He might be getting prosecuted under obstruction of the investigation, which to me, I'm loving it. I'm all here for watching these scammers get exposed. You know, I love this stuff. Look, you lie to the government, you lie to the American people, you say you have these businesses that are saving jobs, you get paid, and then you go blow it all. Like, have you noticed it's a common theme with the PPP Chronicles that all these people, they don't just get the loan money and then go help the poor, right? They don't get the loan money and go feed puppies at the shelter. They get the loan money and spend it on custom jewelry. Like, these people have no shame. They don't even think they're going to get caught. They're too arrogant to think that they're going to get caught. And when they do, I love it. And just know, if you're out there scamming, they're going to catch you. These people are not dumb. While reading these case files, I was like, damn, boy, I didn't know they could do that. They're checking the text logs, the phone logs. They're checking, they're checking how many squares you use on the toilet. Trust me. These people know you better than you know yourself by the time they've investigated you. So don't think you're going to get away with it. You may get away with it for a little bit. You may be arrogant. You may be in your new Benz that you just bought thinking, oh man, I got away with it. Let me apply for another COVID loan. No, dude, you just got away with it for now.
All right, I want to talk about irony. Okay. And because a lot of your videos deal with, your first video is about David Foster Wallace, the problem with irony. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of your videos are also about like Rick and Morty, Simpsons, South Park, all these shows, BoJack Horseman, that are largely...
They capitalize on irony.
They come from cynicism, irony, all that stuff. How do you think about that? And do you think that there's any scaffold of meaning that they're missing? Or do you think that... What do you think about these shows?
It's a really, really hard question, because even once you're teaching from that mode of discourse, like once you're teaching from irony and you are using it to pull back the veil on things and say, this is not how it seems, kind of, right? It's hard to escape that. It's hard to go back and say, now I'm only going to talk about this from this one level and be confident and sincere about that. And I'm not going to talk about the potential underlayer that subverts that.
Yeah, right. It's a sword that cuts both ways.
It cuts both ways. I mean, I can't make the point any better than Wallace did however many years ago, which was just like, once everything is saturated with that, where do you go from there? Like once you've ironically deconstructed everything, then what? Like what do you do next? Like, and we talked about this just at lunch, which was that like you can see these hyper sincere figures coming into the mainstream because there are a lot of people who are lost because everything in their generation has just been so taken apart to the point where they're like, what should I believe?
Yeah.
And then someone comes along and says, here, I have one set of beliefs for you. And I'm going to speak charismatically, and I have these ideas that are appealing, and here's your framework. And then you see those people just flying up. And one of the big problems with irony is it's a great way to, show things for what they are in some respects. But again, it doesn't lead you necessarily to an answer, which is a big problem with irony.
Yeah.
In terms of the shows that you mentioned, though, one of the things about them is I think they know that. Like these writers know about this problem. And so a lot of them have tried to add in elements of the opposite of like, how do we...
Sincerity at the end of the irony.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, exactly, which has been called a lot of things. I guess most popularly it's been called metamodernism.
Yeah, right.
It's very hard to define easily, but essentially, like, for example, BoJack Horseman, like, he's so well trained in the cynicism of the like, just like the audience, and the way to pass through that is essentially to have him say something ironic or cynical, and then have the opposite be true in the narrative. And I think Raphael Bob Waxberg is a genius when it comes to this, which is sort of like, I'm going to take something that everybody is so ironic and cynical about, and then show that it's not necessarily the be-all, end-all truth about the matter, and that it can also go the other direction a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of writers know this problem. They've been working on it. I think one of the big problems remains is that irony makes the viewer feel smarter than they are. It's true.
That's so true.
It's just a fact. It's like, ha ha ha, I'm in on the joke. So, and that keeps someone attached to it.
Right.
And so when someone watches Jon Stewart and he makes an ironic comment, this is old now, he's not on TV, but like when they feel like they're in on the joke, boom, you activated the tribal senses. That person is ready to keep listening to them being holier than thou, ironic above the other person. It remains a problem in culture. I don't think it's as bad as it was when Wallace was talking about it. At least I don't think so. Like, I think there's so many other outlets now with the internet that you don't have to be stuck there.
Sure.
I was definitely stuck there, which is why he's so influential on me. Is like, I thought it was the be-all, end-all. I was raised on Jon Stewart. I was raised on simply treating things as ironic constantly. And then all of a sudden, reading Wallace was like, it was almost like a flip switched in my brain. A switch flipped. A switch
flipped the words.
Yeah. A switch flipped in my brain. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, like...
Today I'm going to solve a mystery right on par with the Da Vinci Code. How I went from this 1 year ago to this. From soy boy beta to alpha Chad. How I went from a bedroom crappy studio to having a $10 million beard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $10 million studio. I'm your host, Coffeezilla. And today I'm going to tell you my secret, guys. The secret to getting the Lambo in the garage, right? Because believe it or not, I'm a lot like you. I eat my veggies. I put on my pants one suspender at a time, right? I take my vitamins. but there's one important difference. I have $10 million. You may not, which is fine. Actually, that's why I'm here. You might be short a few $1,000,000, but I have an answer for you today how you can get the Lambo without having to lease it. And it's a secret that's gonna change YouTube forever. I feel like no one knows about this except for me, and I keep trying to tell everybody, but nobody's listening. So I'm making this video so I never have to explain myself again. It's called virtual production, and it's basically green screens. And you might be saying, Stephen, what's new about that? Well, Mr. Know-It-All, kind of a lot. The game has been changing in the green screen world. You might not know about it. And it's been changing the money production problem on YouTube in a way that basically I feel like nobody's figured out yet. It's just me. And I'm trying to tell as many people as possible about it when I can. So, story time. When I was starting out on YouTube, much younger than this, I quickly noticed there was a problem on YouTube. Well, there's several problems. Honestly, I had a lot of problems on YouTube, right? You know, some of them were easy to solve. You know, I had no personality. That's easy. Just make up a bunch of bad jokes and fake laugh at them. But there are other problems that are harder to solve. One of them, the money production problem. Because you look at a lot of like big YouTubers today, I don't know if you've seen them lately, they're insane. Like, gone are the days of low budget sets and bad webcams. There's still a few OG gyms out there, but these guys are the exception, not the rule. Nowadays, you look around, you got people like MKB HD, Linus Tech Tips, and they've got these like $1 million sets going on with staff and all these things to make these videos that look, well, they look great. They look super high quality. But if you're just like a regular guy starting out, that's super intimidating. How do you get to that level? It feels like it's an uphill battle. Like at one point, this YouTuber, Linus Tech Tips, was describing how after he bought his like 6-figure, 7-figure warehouse, he then had to build a house inside of the warehouse just to make it look like YouTuber-y.
So we realized we're gonna stop trying to build sets and we're just gonna build a house. So we found a condo floor plan and we just built it in our warehouse.
And this is the problem most new YouTubers face. And the old answer to this problem was, we'll just get $10 million and invest it in a $10 million studio. The new answer, ladies and gentlemen, which I myself do not use, but you can, is green screen. The answer is CGI. Yes, like computer generated graphics, right? Homegrown CGI. Ladies and gentlemen, it's come a long way in the past decade. I mean, you remember the terrible stuff we used to make back in the day. Wait a second. When was this movie made? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, bad CGI actually still does exist. Just got word. But the ability for individual creators from their basement to make amazing CGI now has come a long way. It's gone from something that nobody but the biggest studios in the world could consider or dare invest in to something that indie YouTubers like Ian Hubert are doing now. And it looks awesome. They're even working on tech now where you don't even need a green screen to even do it. To prove it, here's a buddy of mine, Vikas, showing off some new tech he's been working on.
I'm filming this from my beautiful home, definitely not my crappy basement office that was hastily arranged in the pandemic and is next to a hot water heater.
Are you guys getting it yet? Like, this is without a green screen. And with a green screen, it looks even better. Maybe even, I don't know, indistinguishable from really being in an office. I wouldn't know that personally. I'm just trying to tell you guys that this is going to change what it means to have a professional set. Instead of buying a warehouse where you spend $1 million and then have to build a house inside of your warehouse, there's going to come a time where you can throw up a green screen and look better, or even not have a green screen and look better with more creative sets than you could do for millions of dollars in real life. But okay, that might sound interesting to you, but you're wondering, Stephen, this newfangled tech, why now? Why is it coming around now? Weren't we always able to do something like this? Why is the tech just now getting this good? Well, there's been some pretty exciting stuff going around. You may have heard of like the Mandalorian. VTubers have been exploding. Mocap suits are getting good. But I think, in my opinion, the biggest shift that we've seen is in realism with something called ray tracing, which is like a way to mimic how light works in real life. Graphics have like taken a quantum leap forward. You've probably already seen it, like Minecraft with ray tracing on, like looks like a work of art. But if you have stuff that isn't just blocks. It starts to look like literally real life. And at some point, it's going to be hard to distinguish computer-generated graphics from real graphics. And I'm not talking like from a movie studio, not a big budget. I'm talking about small YouTubers are going to have their hands in this stuff. There's already huge communities in things like Blender and Unreal Engine, which are both free to use, that are coming up with insane results from the comfort of their own home. Like, here's an example of a car chase scene by Reeve Music. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think this was real. So let's put this together. The secret that no one knows about on YouTube yet is that two things are intersecting, and I want to tell you guys about it. I keep trying to tell my friends, nobody's listening to me, so I'm just going to make this video in hopes that I can inspire somebody. On the one hand, you have YouTube pushing towards higher production content where creators are spending more and more money to make themselves look more professional. On the other side, we have this new technology that's enabling same or better looking visuals for a fraction of the price. Those are going to intersect, and the conclusion is that virtual production is going to be a game changer. And what I'm telling you guys is get on the ground floor. Hey, if you want to pump the stock, Zilla, you can. Be a part, but also still early into the... Nothing bothers me more than the rise of dark patterns in e-commerce, which is an expression for when designers use human psychology to essentially trick you into buying things you didn't know you were buying. So today we're going to be looking at this guy who built 11 businesses, 3 million. I don't know. He could be a great guy. I don't know. But I saw grab my guide for getting started in real estate. I said, ooh, let's check that out, right? Let's check it out. So I go here, I fill up my information, okay, reverse wholesaling, for how to work backwards. So,
hey, Kent Clothier here. And rather than try to razzle dazzle you and talk to you about the thousands of houses we've flipped or any of that kind of good stuff, I would rather just show you how you can do it right now. That's why I want you to take advantage of this free book that I put together for you.
Whoa, free pamphlet, you mean? It seems like it's like 20 pages or something. But that's not the point, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to get to you to the point of what angered me in this video, which is something called forced continuity, which he said he doesn't do, which we're going to talk about in a second. There's a lie on this page. We'll go see if you can spot it. Anyway, so there's this shipping thing, so you fill in your stuff, and I say, okay, I want my free book now. Give me my free book. And this is where the dark pattern gets involved. Okay, I'm in the UK today. Okay, so it's one of these free books that's actually you pay for. So it's free plus $7.95 domestic shipping, which for a thing as small as that, he's probably profiting off of the $7.95. So the fact it's free is a joke. But then there's this. This is what pissed me off. Special bonus, round up your purchase by just 5 cents to just $8 total and get access to 3 incredible trainings. So you're thinking to yourself, great, I'll add in 5 cents to my purchase, right? And there's this long paragraph, and most people, when you see a block of text like this, what do? You just kind of glaze over it. You're like, you read the headline and you think, okay, yeah, I guess. And this is where they trick you. Along with a free trial to Smart, this offer will not be available anytime or place. Only 5 cents today for 7 days, then $149 a month. Are you joking? What a dirty trick, huh? This guy, he's pushing you to this free book, which is not free, and he's saying he's probably making money on the shipping, or at least breaking even. I mean, he's definitely not giving it to you for free, in other words. So that's a big joke. But then there's this trick. He says, add a nickel, and what you're actually doing is signing up to pay $150 every month. And there's even more trickery when you go to his terms of service. Like, you have to cancel 24 hours in advance. Otherwise, he doesn't allow that. And then if you get signed up for the monthly subscription, then you have to cancel 10 days in advance of your resubscription. Otherwise, you get charged again. And this stuff really bothers me, and I think it needs to be called out whenever it happens. Everybody who does this knows it, but they more think, here's the thought, I'll get more sales. I'll get away with it. I will get away with it because no one's here to call me out. No one will call me out on my crap, but I will. It doesn't stop there, because as you go down, I saw this thing that really pissed me off. It says, there is no catch. Well, but isn't there though? You're trying to trick people into getting $150 a month. This is a well-known UX design scheme. It says, oh, I know there are some websites out there that offer you something cool for free, but then stick you with some program that charges your card every month. This isn't one of them. There's no hidden continuity program. What? That's exactly what they're. So if they read this, they will be lied to because there is no free trial. I thought there's a 5-cent trial and then a hidden continuity program. Just a free book. If you act now before my offer expires, wondering why there's doing this, it's because it's my way of giving back. Oh, what a nice guy. Because unlike other gurus, I don't make all my money teaching others how to do the same. I actually run a real business. Okay, so I'm thinking that this guy's malicious. But what I actually find out, because the internet detective, you guys know me, I had to do some digging. I got out the old magnifying glass. I was like, what's going on here, you know? And I found something very interesting. I found a very similar phrase on trafficsecrets.com, aka, Big Daddy Russell. We haven't talked about him yet. He's the progenitor of all the gurus. He teaches them all his secrets. So you come to find out that I don't think this guy was maliciously lying. For sure, there's a forced continuity scumbag move in here, but he wasn't maliciously lying. Instead, he was lazily copying Russell Brunson. See, there is no catch. I know there are some websites out there, all that kind of stuff. That's straight out of here. There is no catch. I know there are some websites out there that offer you something for free and then stick you with a program that charges you every month. This isn't one of them. And Russell Brunson's, by the way, is not this guy who just copy and pasted some of the stuff and just replaced it with his business. Yeah, he does have a scumbag forced continuity thing. So I just wanted to call this out. Like I said, I mean, here's how I think about things. People tell you who they are in their marketing. If they're a sleazebag, if they're honest, it's very obvious. They send you signals of who they are. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know Real Estate Worldwide or whatever this guy's company's name is. I don't know them. But when I see the marketing, I see how it's structured, I get a... Does money make you happy? How much space is too much space? And can 100,000 square feet of prime LA real estate fill up the void in a broken man's heart? Today, we're going to be answering those questions thanks to a new site of YouTube I recently discovered, which I like to call Ultra Rich Flex YouTube. And they're going to be blessing us poor people today. I mean, I know. I got the Lambo in the back. For these people, a Lamborghini is like a cardboard box, okay? It's nothing to them. These people are ridiculous. And today, they're going to be blessing us. Look, with a feature-length documentary called The Biggest and Most Expensive House in the World, which they are humbly calling The One. Now, if you're interested in this, I encourage you to go watch the full thing because I'm just going to be cherry picking the best little bits because normally I'm not interested in this kind of stuff. I mean, it's fine if you're into it, but for me, luxury for the sake of luxury isn't my style. But the reason this video interests me and the reason I'm bringing it before you today is, number one, listen, we've been talking about too many dark things, pump and dumps, scams, whatever. It's nice to take a little bit of a pause. But secondly, this video is so much more than it appears under the surface. It is like the iceberg of videos. It appears to be a luxury video about a luxury house, but in fact, under the surface, it's like a mini documentary on the hollowness of wealth, the insanity of obsession, a testament to just how out of touch you can get with regular human beings. It's incredible, okay? It's a journey. That's all I can say. And before we embark on it, let me just introduce you real quick to the main characters of our saga. The first is this designer, Niall Niami. He's the developer of The One. He's a complete psychopath. The second one, though, is our host, producer Michael, who's one of the biggest ultra-rich content creators. Now, I don't want to bias you anymore, so without further ado, put these on real quick. Droning over Miami. Let's go.
It is the most epic of epic videos. We are at the largest house in the urban world. When I say the largest, it is 105,000 square feet. It is called The One. And what gets better than that, we are with the one and only Niall, who is the visionary behind this. He built this, and he is just an incredible guy. And he's going to show us around this house that no cameras have seen this house before in its entirety, ever. Is that correct?
That's right.
So the tour starts off fine, but pretty quickly it's clear that things start to go off the rails. The type of person to build this house is not going to be stable.
This office is the only room in the house. The house is surrounded by water, so we have little moats, and we have a total of 7 water features and swimming pools combined. But this office, you'll see every single wall in this office touches water, so it's like it's floating.
This is just incredible. Look at the height of this. I'm 6'2".
One small question, why? I feel like you could fit a small crane in there. And I'm not talking about the bird. These are supposed to be drawers. How do you get there? With the cherry picker, it's impossible to put anything in those shelves. I think this is the best moment where you realize these people are on one.
Talk to you guys about that because it's something close to me.
They're taking us to a glass statue, and then offhand he says this.
This is a moat, and the reason that we did a moat here.
Let me stop you right there. There is no reason to do a moat. First of all, I love how he's like, hey, we're gonna go see this. Oh, by the way, there's the moat. And then he tries to justify it like there's any good reason for a moat, but besides to defend, some castle structure from invading troops.
So below, we have probably the world's most expensive running track because you can't run in Bel Air because there's no sidewalk. So now you can run from here all the way to where the front door is.
Does anybody ever stop in these projects and go, but why? The property's like 100,000 square feet. I feel like running from one bedroom to another is enough of a workout. Are you joking me?
This is going to be a first. I never walk on grass.
Like, usually you watch videos because it's, like, relatable. I have to imagine nobody's watching this and thinking, yeah, that's me.
This is real grass, and I'm going to walk on it.
What? Congratulations, Michael. Welcome to the team, I guess.
This artist was nice enough to make this for us, and because they wanted to be involved in the one, but it's turned into something so much more because my ex-wife, I'm just getting divorced, unfortunately.
Ooh, okay. That's very sorry to hear that.
It was a whirlwind relationship. I met her during COVID, and it didn't work out.
Married her and divorced her during COVID, okay. Weird thing to bring up when you're bragging about the one. Okay, bad joke, but is that why she didn't go with you? Because she never felt like she was the one Hey, you know what? I'll see myself out for that one. Kidding, guys. I would never leave you in the middle of our show. Excuse me. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you there, bud.
But this is a charity that we have called Wings of Angels, and this is going to help children in third world countries.
It's not.
Through the arts. Because
what? What are you going to send them a picture of? You send them a little postcard. Hey, look how sick my house is.
This artist was nice enough to make this for us. She came from a very tough life in Cordoba, and she wants to be part of the solution of changing the world. And one of the ways we're going to do this here is through this charity.
I guess he's talking about like a real charity, but you keep touching the sculpture, and it makes me think that you think that the sculpture's going to like save kids with the arts. And by the way, I don't think their problem is not enough arts. I think their problem is food. I'm not trying to hate on this guy's charity thing. I just think it's funny that he thinks this sculpture is going to change the world.
This is an elevator, I'm assuming.
Elevators. I think there's 6 elevators.
He's like, that's like the lamest one. Actually, keep it moving. We've got 6 of them. Dime a dozen here in the one here.
6 elevators.
You know, I'm a big developer. I have built a lot of houses, no houses like this, but I've learned over time that we really need to start sustaining and trying to do things where we don't just waste.
Dude, this man has built one of the most opulent, wasteful properties in the entire world. And then he unironically, because you can feel it, can't you, that he believes this. He unironically, like, is trying to say to this guy he's delivering the property to, like, hey, man, really learned how to not be wasteful. The irony hurts.
So this is one thing that we found. All of my flowers are artificial, but you could never tell.
Right.
I hate this man. I really do. This is where it turns from me from like, hey, this guy's like, it's funny how out of touch to like, oh, I hate you though. Oh my gosh. You're saving the world through artificial flowers in the most wasteful property of all time. It could be an Apple headquarters, the size of this building, and it's for one person. There couldn't be a more wasteful thing on earth. And this guy's trying to tell you, learned a lot about, you know, the green world. It's like when, you know, somebody's flying a private jet and they're lecturing you about recycling. They're like, hey, you got to recycle those aluminum cans. It's like, you jackass, okay? We see what you're doing.
Coffee, tea, anything you want. But the cool thing about it is this is the setup here. So it holds the milk and keeps it cold. So you don't have to fill the milk up like in the Miles. And then it grinds it fresh. So this does everything. You don't have to descale. You don't have to do anything. You just...
This is the first part of the house where I'm kind of like, I kind of want that. Can we start a GoFundMe for me, guys?
Touch on your phone, cappuccino, and other than having a cup come up, it does it all.
Guess where we saw one of these, Michael?
Where?
In your other house.
Oh, yeah.
In your...
Oh yeah, I forgot about this part.
A tiny little 18,000 foot house that was 65 million bucks.
Which one was that? Which did you go to?
Which $18 million house are you talking about, referring to with that super specific cappuccino machine? I've got 12 of them. And just wait, because it gets so much worse.
How much of the house would you say this is, Niall, percentage-wise, that we're looking at?
15, 10? So look
folks.
Look at the running track.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
No.
That's a real running track.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can watch the moment he realizes this. Oh wait, rich people don't run. Why would you want to run on a track where you can look down and see your kind of hideous, disgusting, poor neighbors? You don't want to see that, right? So they take us to the nightclub. I would say that probably the part that the most people have been talking about this house tour, though, is this weird moment.
I know, and unfortunately in LA, I know a lot of the dudes are scumbags here, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to turn all the dudes into good people.
How are you going to do that?
One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to set them on their feet. So check out what I did here. Plates right here, that's for a monitor, right? And then if you come into his side.
So he puts a monitor in the girl's side.
Can you believe
these are the urinals, and I'm going to have cameras here looking at the guys.
You're going to have cameras?
Me too! Me too! Hey, me too this man right now. I'm just not sure the logic tracks here. This guy says, hey, I'm going to save the dudes in LA from being total dirtbag scumbags. I'm tired of it. How are you going to do that? I'm going to spy on people's genitals without their consent. That's, hey. Oh man, are you guys not entertained? This is not your average luxury tour, guys. We are witnessing a special breed of human who has transcended social cues, who has transcended self-awareness and become something entirely. The type of man who knows how to set men right by peeking on their private parts, I guess. Little dick camera is what it is.
Cameras looking at the guys, putting the image in the girls' bathroom. Out of the box thinking. That's a normal.
I have to say, the approach of let's stop guys by being creepy, by being even creepier, it is out of the box. I'm just not sure how that's going to work for you, Chief. Now, with all these beautiful moments of these people being out of touch, whatever, I think it's finally time to end the tour prematurely. You can go watch the full thing on their YouTube channel and talk about the true insanity, because if you thought they're just walking you through the house was crazy, there's an even better video called The One, Its Vision and Future Explained, which is a video about the house and like what it's built for. And this is what really blew my mind about realizing, oh, these people need professional help. Like, it is beyond a YouTube video to help these people. Yeah, they're asking like, what's your favorite part of this house? And the designer's going to answer now, Miami.
And you said something like, what we can do with the house. Mm-hmm. What did you mean? Tell everybody.
Well, I think that I have something very, very exciting, and I believe that I don't have this by chance. The house is called The One Bel Air, and my show is called The One. And between those two, I think that we have the ability to really change the world in a very positive way.
When you say change the world in a positive way, how does this house change the world?
This is the first great question by producer Michael. So far, it's just been like clapping this guy in the back for building this completely ridiculous house. Nobody needs this. And actually, I heard that this guy is having a hard time selling it because of basically precisely that problem. So then this guy goes, oh, it's going to change the world. So how?
I need you to explain that.
I will explain. So because of COVID, all of the venues around the world have been either shut down or dramatically altered. There is nowhere in the world really where you can go for a venue like you used to have, like a big boxing match or the Academy Awards.
If you're asking yourself, is he going where I think he's going with this? Because if he is, he's the worst human on the planet. The answer is yes to all of those
the
things.
Grammys or anything else that required a large crowd to gather at Staples Center or MGM or Caesar's Palace or any of these other places. But we have it now because this house has the ability to hold 900 people in a safe COVID environment.
Let's give it up, guys. the world was suffering because nobody could meet together, and this guy spent like $100 million, $500 million building something that could seat 900 people. This guy's like, hey, the world has a problem. No one can meet because of COVID. So I spent 10 years building this thing that can make 900 rich people's life slightly better. Because you're not inviting poor people, right? Like, I love how this guy's like, hey, well, I'm doing charities for like poor people. And then you find out that actually the house is, of course, just for rich people to go from their mansion to the Giga Mansion.
And what is being created for this house is a show that everyone will want to watch and identify with because it stars me.
Nobody identifies with this, or you.
And I live in the house with people that I love. We do crazy things and have crazy parties, but we also help the world in so many different ways.
This is great. I'm sure this is how the Kardashians feel too. They're like, we're doing the world a service. We're changing the world. How? Well, people get to watch us live a great life. It's like, that doesn't change my life. But what would change, like, third world country people's life is not you building a mansion in the most wealthy part of the world. It's you maybe helping with that money. And I'm not saying this to shame this guy for spending his money the way he wants to spend it, but you can't pretend you're helping the world while not helping the world. That's all I'm saying. Don't say you're doing this for charity or the world when you're just building yourself a 100,000 square foot mega giga mansion.
We are creating gigantic boxing matches right in the grass with the world championship boxers that you could ever imagine, and concerts, and anything that you could imagine that has a pay-per-view event leading up to the pay-per-view event will be my show. So the talent will come through, the weigh-ins will be here, because I have a lot of friends who are billionaires. I have a lot of friends who have more money than they know what to do with. And you understand, if you have $1 billion, how much money you're making a year if it's at 5%? What if you have $2 billion? What if you have $3 billion?
You can never spend that money.
Well, I have a friend who...
Are you lecturing us as like a multi-millionaire that other people are not being generous with their money and they're using it for selfish reasons? Are you really doing that?
It was $3 billion. And when I was in my house looking up at the sky saying I didn't have money to buy a cheeseburger, he wouldn't help me.
This is about as relatable as Kanye West being like, I'm in debt. Nobody's sad for you, Kanye. And nobody's sad for this guy. It is not because people don't care about the poor. It's because you're not poor. This is a real person who was like 5 minutes ago telling us that he's got, which multi-million-dollar house are you talking about?
A tiny little 18,000 foot house that was 65 million bucks.
Which one was that? Which did you go to?
He's complaining about not having money to buy a cheeseburger. I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. You have to feel bad for this guy at a certain level because it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think this guy's happy with his life. And fundamentally, that's because money doesn't buy you happiness. And like, this video is just such a beautiful testament to there is no such thing as enough, because as soon as he finishes this thing, apparently he's gonna try to invest money into a plane, right? Because his house wasn't enough. I guess he needs to put a plane on it.
I am going to buy this plane that I call the God plane.
Yeah, and that's basically what you're dealing with. I mean, this guy is totally delusional. I think producer Michael might be one of the most sane ones, to be honest. I've watched a few of his videos since this video that we're watching here, and he comes across more as a collector, like an interested collector, like he just wants to show you the cool stuff he has, rather than somebody who's just doing it to flex on people. So I would have to say, producer Michael, even though he doesn't challenge him very much here, he definitely is a lot more normal, and it seems more well-adjusted than anyone else we're talking about. Although I will say the grass comment was very extra.
This is going to be